Acting forces you to examine a character and their relationship to other characters, and in turn, with that examination of human nature, you're forced to examine yourself.
When I played Satan, I learned so much about myself. What I've learned about acting, I've learned through experience, just doing it a lot. And what I've learned is that it's all about control.
Learning to speak clearly and loudly and intentionally.
No actor that I know goes up there and completely wings everything. That's what a lot of people think acting is, going up there and just letting yourself loose. But really, it's all about control, preparation, and knowing how much to show and how much to hold back. And to have that experience on stage with so many characters, it is going to leak off into your real life. And what I found is that it's made me think about my relationships with people, what I say to them, how I behave to them. I think it's made me a more courteous person in general.
I'm so different, in my thinking from when I was before that. It makes you grow and makes you a lot more thoughtful.
It helps me to approach other people, like in new situations, better. To not think so highly of myself, but to put more of my focus on being a team member.
First of all, I knew it was going to be very difficult.
It can be very difficult at times because you want to steal the scene.
I knew that it was going to be harder than it looked. A lot of people think they can act.
Their goal is to make you better by telling you what you're doing poorly.
I just knew it was going to be challenging.
And at times it can be kind of embarrassing because you have the entire cast standing around in a circle, and the director will be, Lene, you need to stop doing this and start doing this. We've given you this note before.
Twelfth Night is a lot about deception and masks. In fact, all the characters in the play had some kind of masks. They were hiding something. And Malvolio wasn't exempt from that. It's a very sad role. I remember Tammy and I talking about it, that we needed to be careful not just to make it funny and ha 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 ha, he's being made fun of, but that it's really awful what's being done to him. That's only going to be realistic if Malvolio is truly played as a human being.
You're not just memorizing lines and reciting them as if you were this person. You really have to think like that person would think.
I did learn something from it in that we're constantly in one environment making ourselves seem one way, putting on some kind of character that we want people to see us as. And then we go to another environment and we're completely different. And that goes back to the masks. I don't necessarily think that's right either to God or to yourself. I myself had maybe different kind of characters I would put on.
As a result of trying to, assume a different character and get, into his mind and do things as he does it and think about the other characters as well, after that experience, I really found myself thinking a lot harder about why I do things.
It was learning that I could be myself no matter where I was at, and especially in acting, I had a group of friends that would accept me for who I was. Because that's what you're afraid of. You're afraid of being rejected in this situation or that situation or that situation. So you put up these masks or these walls to protect yourself and to put up this image so that people will accept you. So, and I'm still working on it. But I've learned that that's the case now, and so I've got a new weapon.
And you can't not grow from it unless you consciously decided from the beginning that you weren't going to.
I think it lets you look at situations and think, okay, what is the best approach here? If I have a friend who's just broken up with her boyfriend and she's really distraught, my natural instinct may be to just blather on and on about how she's going to be okay. Having played a similar character on stage, I've thought it through a little more, and I know that sometimes silence is the best remedy.
Being part of a team, being a group member, working together, that's been probably my biggest experience.
Theater was the glue the first few years of school that held my life together. It held my church life together. It held my academic performance. I would do my homework on time, thoroughly, and early because I wanted to work on my lines.
Time management skills, those have been, it's kind of a sink or swim thing.
Oh, theater teaches you to be okay with mistakes. I love that. When you go up there, it's not a movie. You can't say, cut, let's do it again. Cut, let's do it again. You can't edit out the mistakes. You have to go with the flow. And if a problem happens, if you fail, Lord forbid, fail is a very scary word to me. If you fail on stage, you have to keep going because the show must go on and the audience can't know. You've become very adept at moving on. Boy, I'm sorry that happened, but what else can I do? Let's keep going.